Okay, so this is day 3, okay, and this is our song. We are going to lay the drums and we're going to sing the vocals, okay? So I'll talk to you then. Okay, so right, so it's them there. We are going to be using them today, okay? That drum set, okay? This is going to be our drums for okay, so we're here on this stage. The song we've written, we are going to listen back to it on the computer over here, and we're going to match the lyrics with everything we've done so far, because when we lay the drums it's going to be very hard to change things, okay? So we're going to have to make sure that we're going to have to set this the bass melody the bass melody in stone, okay? We can start laying down the drums. I'll show you the process and laying down the drums and how to do that. Okay, so this is playing out for now, okay? And it's nearly time, so we let that play out there. Okay, so it's off. It's off. It doesn't mean that the music is wrong. It doesn't mean the music is wrong. This is going to happen to you. It fitted when I was recording it yesterday. The lyrics here fit what I recorded yesterday. And what I recorded yesterday, we set it down and we put everything over it, like the bass and whatever else, okay? So we're just going to go back over it until we can make it fit. So there might be something wrong with the very last couple of verses. I could either change the words at this point on the page, leave out a couple of lines, or I could alter and put an extra 2 bars in at the very end, the outro. It all fits, so that's good. We're on a roll. I don't know what's happening. It's really fast production. I don't know. Now we know that it fits. It's time to head over here soon enough and start setting up these drums, because we're going to record the drum tracks, okay? Okay, that's that. You get dedicated channels on audio interfaces dedicated to drums and guitars. So we plug that one in there, and that's mono, and the second one here will make it stereo. So there's going to be 2 drum tracks being recorded at the one time. That headphone jack there goes to the headphones over on the drums just here, okay? Okay, so that's that there, okay? Drums, let's go. Okay, so this is going to be for rehearsal, okay? I'm going to be listening to the drums through the headphones, okay? And I'm going to rehearse these drums, okay? So I'm going to rehearse them, okay? Stick on these headphones. That's good, I can hear them. This is the real thing now. We're actually going to lay down the drum track, okay? Okay, so here we go, right? Wrong, that's wrong. I done it again. So you have to go back and forward, so then we're going to go on to the third take. That was wrong. Got it, we got it. Third take, yep. We're going to rehearse the chorus, okay? The chorus now, okay? I made a big mistake there. I made a big mistake here, okay? So let's do it again. So it's looping around. I'm playing the same thing over and over again till I get this correct, you know. Right, I'm here a lot of the day. I'm wasting time trying to get this, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix up the melody to make it work on a 4/4 basis with that. Instead of trying to catch the beat for hours and hours, I could align it, very simply just align it, and once it falls into line, that's pretty much it. I'm going to rehearse this to make sure that everything falls into place and it feels right when it comes to the drum set. Okay, so here we go. That's alright, that will work. We have that. Okay, so we are finished with the drums. Okay, so we're finished with them. So I'm going to turn these off. But before I turn them off here, I need to come over here for a moment, because I need to turn down the volumes on these, alright. Okay, and so on. And that's at what? That's at 10:30. 10:30. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out. Now we can come over here, turn off these drums here. Okay, okay, because the drums are on there, so I need to turn these off. So I'm going to turn them off here. Okay, that's it. Go to shutdown. There are the drums here. Here, you see that? Drums, 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 drums to the end, okay? And that's the whole lot there, okay? So okay, so it's time to get editing the drums, okay? Force them into time by chopping them and aligning them to the little lines, the grid lines in the software. So I'm going to do this, and I'll talk to you in a while. Okay, so that's our drum track fixed up now, and it's been a few hours. It took me a few hours to get everything onto the grid lines in the software and so on. And so you may not be able to hear it, but I'll play it, see what you think. Maybe you won't hear it. I'm just going to turn off that metronome. The drums are a slight bit out, and I'm fine with that. And you know why I'm fine with it? Because it humanizes the track. If something is too bang bloody on, absolutely dead on the beat, it will sound robotic, and people say, no, but it sounds like real drums, but you could be using very good drum software to give that very realistic sound, and it will still sound robotic. So the idea is a little bit out here, an edge there, and an edge back and forward before the grid lines, and a little bit before them, a little bit after, and it shows just every once in a while when the beat is just a slightly off. So it gives a humane aspect to it. So you got to keep that humane aspect of the drums in there because people are going to assume that it's going to be drum software like Easy Drummer or something like that, or they're just realistic sounding drums from a music program that you used. But we didn't. You witnessed, we used the drums there, I played them and so on, and I recorded the drums and so on. So with the editing, you don't put a bang on the fucking beat every time. It's not good. Have a tiny little bit off here and there in places and humanize it, alright? Like people, musicians especially, they will know the difference. This one here, in marked out in red on the top. Okay, so we're going to burn that. Okay, then we burn the second track separately, the second drum track. Both of them are identical, and so on. So there we go. There's one. So that's the left drum track, the one on the left side. Label this T2. Okay, and here we go. So that's the two drum tracks identical to each other, now finally burned, and they're edited, they're in time to a nice degree, not overdone either, and so on, just to give that human touch. Okay, and let's go and jump over here, and here's our two drum tracks, and let's grab them both, put them up here, and there we go. Excellent. You bring up the volume on them a little bit, okay, and listen back to that with the rest of the music. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna mute Easy Drummer. That was our guide. We needed Easy Drummer for a guide, so I know when I was off time and when I wasn't, and what bit was coming up next, because Easy Drummer, I set up the cues in Easy Drummer, okay, like cymbals, and they got louder and louder, and then as they got louder and progressed, I knew I was coming into the next section of music. So I knew what was coming next because I pre-warned myself through the cues. So I'm going to mute Easy Drummer because we don't need the cues anymore for now, because we will be doing the vocals, remember, today, and you'll go through that process. So here's what the burned tracks sound like that I did on the drum set. Okay, so we have all the basics, okay? We've got all these basics now set up, okay? And so we have a basic guitar track, we have a basic bass track, we have the basic drum track. We're going to add the vocals. So why am I doing the vocals last? Why am I doing that? Well, I like to do the vocals last because after I play the drums, which is usually the second last thing before the vocals, so I play the drums before the vocals. And the reason I play the drums before the vocals, because it tires my voice out, it tires my whole body out playing the drums, because they are hard work. You know, there's a lot of things you have to keep going, like rhythm, you've got to keep scale, you've got to keep all the beats, you've got to keep, you know, there's timing and there's all sorts of things. So it's hard and it's strenuous, so it tires me out, and it prepares my vocals, if I'm going to sing, to give that sort of a hoarse feel, a voice or whatever, you know, a tiring sort of draggy stuff and all that. Another thing with vocals is you don't eat anything that day. If you're going to sing later on that day, eat nothing. If you're feeling hungry, have some yogurt or honey and things like that, and that's how to work your way around to fill yourself up again until you get a meal. Don't eat nothing till you do the vocals first, because you ruin your vocal cords And if you try to sing after you had something to eat, what happens there is you may even rip your vocal cords, and off to hospital you go, okay, for an operation. It's not usually a good idea to eat things before you sing. Really isn't, and you can take my word for it. Ask vocalists, specifically ask vocalists and tenors and alto vocalists and so on, and they will say the same thing. Yeah, it's probably best not to have a meal. Just have water, a few liquids, things like that, and that's good enough.